Let's go to Manchester United, shall we? Eric Ten Hag, he's confident he still has the backing of the owners. How much has that surprised you?
I said it at the weekend. I felt as if he would, I thought he would still be in charge, no matter what the result was, because you just get the feeling that, are Manchester United waiting on something to happen, someone to say, right, okay, I've had my rest period now. Are they still being employed or still being paid by other clubs? Because this can't continue, and I don't care what MD says. There's people there that will say that there's progression. There's not progression. There's none of it. I can't see. The fact that Manchester United have scored 5 goals this season tells me all I need to know. A team that was built on success, was brought up in success, and the team that I watched in the 90s and even before that, scoring goals, winning games of football. It's a pale shadow of that resemblance right now, and you do feel sorry for Manchester United fans, because in the 90s and so forth, they were the elite club in terms of off the pitch and on it. Right now, it just seems to be all over the place. But I think it's easy for the owners are not going to come out right now and say that the manager's going to lose his job or whatever until they've got someone there. I get that, but it's going to get to the stage where it's probably going to look bad in them that they can't make a decision as well, because anybody can see that this is heading in the wrong direction for Manchester United. And Eric Ten Hag is not going to come out and say, yeah, we're really struggling. You only need to look at the team selections, you need to look at the results, the performances and the results, and they are a million miles away from where Manchester United need to be.
Yeah. Yesterday they had their ownership meeting. It's again raised those questions that you were asking there. There were reports Thomas Tuchel had been approached. We've heard that's not the case. But even so, for Ten Hag, all this noise around his job, it must be very off-putting.
Well, he might not have been approached in the last few days, but there is no doubt that Manchester United spoke to managers in the summer. Whether Thomas Tuchel was one of them back then, we don't know. But there is one thing that they definitely spoke to managers, and again couldn't come to a decision on what to do. But for me, I look at Eric Ten Hag, and you're not going to walk away from a job. And yes, they might turn around and give you a new contract. For me, the contract doesn't really mean anything, because the termination clause will still be the same. It's more or less we're backing a manager, but you then strip him of his staff. They're cleared out. You look at the staff that's left; they're having a pop. There's players within the dressing room. Christian Eriksen's having a pop in terms of some of the players. Ruud van Nistelrooy looks more hands-on when you see things like that there. He's been a manager before. Whatever you say, it isn't rosy at Manchester United right now, and everybody's going to play the card of, we're getting better, things are improving. The proof's in the pudding. That it's nowhere near the level where Manchester United need to be.
No, and I want to pick up on the other stat you quite wisely researched and dropped in there. Only scored 5 Premier League goals this season. Only one of those goals has come from Marcus Rashford. Yep, he scored in the EFL Cup and the Europa League. What are you saying? Because we know he can score goals, as he proved a couple of seasons ago. So what are you seeing as a former forward yourself?
I've just seen a team that's not. They might be creating some opportunities, but the fact that Rob, we speak there about they've scored 5 goals, and rightly so. 3 of them came against Southampton. So there's been games where Manchester United have been looked like scoring. And Marcus Rashford, everybody, he's someone that I think that even Manchester United fans, not Manchester United fans, want to do. They want him to do well because of what he done for a lot of people. When people were struggling, a lot of kids and everything around Manchester. The job that he done then, people want him to do well. And I think when you go back to that period of time there where he'd scored at Southampton, then obviously get the brace against Barnsley in the Cup, and everybody's thinking, right, here we go, he's going back in a run. But the reality is, the team, whatever way it's functioning, isn't allowing the forward areas, it isn't allowed the forward players to thrive. Defensively, yeah, they seem sound enough. I think you can't criticise them we can't sit here and criticise them for only scoring 5 goals, but at the same time, only Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle and Arsenal have conceded less in the Premier League. So, defensively, they do seem to be doing a job there. But is that having a harm on, an impact on them going forward? I think it is. And I'll go back to it again. Manchester United fans were brought up way before our time, or way before my time. I'm not sure about yours, Rob, but you know, watching the team, free-flowing football, attacking the wide areas, getting balls in the box, scoring goals. It's nowhere near that.